17th, 2021, 6 PM on Wednesday. I'm
5:30.
What's that? Oh, 5:30. 5:30 on Wednesday. I'm Corey Howard, Vice Chair. Bring the Douglas Board of Health meeting to order. First on the agenda is the local upgrade variance for 9 Angel Road. Anybody want to speak on that?
Sure. I'll go ahead. My name's Margaret Bacon. For the record, I'm an engineer with Civil Site Engineering, and I'm here requesting local upgrade / variance for a septic replacement at 9 Angel Road. And the reason I'm asking for a variance, not just an upgrade, is because I'm asking to keep the system. I'm asking for a waiver from the 4-foot groundwater offset. Instead of 4 feet, I'm requesting 2.5 feet in an effort to, not to have a big mounted system in the front yard. That in combination with adjacent wells and not being able to meet that 100-foot criteria, the combination of the two requires a variance and not just the upgrade. And obviously, as we know, up in the Wallem Lake Terraces, due to, tight site constraints, it's very difficult to put any septic system in there now that complies with Title V and can stay 100 feet away from everybody's wells. It's just not possible. So I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the plan, or if you want me to pull it up, or.
Yeah, can you just outline some of the numbers I'm having a hard time reading on my copy? Can you just tell me like the from 100 feet to what?
Question.
Sure. So actually, so at 9 Angel Road, there's an existing cesspool in the front yard. So we're taking that existing cesspool, we're going to eliminate it and put in a Presby Advanced system, which is bigger than a cesspool, but it's also much higher up above the groundwater. Typically, cesspools up there are 10 feet deep and go right into the groundwater, where the systems you have to put in today have a bigger footprint, but they're much higher in elevation. So basically, if you're standing on Angel Road, looking at the house, the property to the right, number 7, that's the Evans property, I believe. Yes, the Evans property. I'm going to be 73 feet away from their well. And I'm asking for a waiver to the property line. I'm supposed to keep the system 10 feet away from the property line. Right now, I'm about 7.5 feet away from the property line. And then on the left-hand side of the property, lot number 11, which is the Metcalf property, I'm going to be about 81 feet away from their well. And then further over, number 13, Angel Road, Nordstrom property, I'm going to be 97 feet away from their well. Now, I can stay 100 feet away from my client's well because that's in the backyard, over 100 feet away now. And there's no wells across the street from Angel Road that I'd be within that 100-foot radius of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's the property line. If looking at the house from Angel Road, the property on the right-hand side, I need the waiver to the well and the property line. And then on the left-hand side of the house, for 11 Angel Road and 13 Angel Road, it's the 100-foot well offset requirements.
So it looks like the cesspool is closer to one of the neighbors' wells currently, right?
Yeah, the cesspool's right in the front yard. And like I say, years ago, a cesspool is 4 feet in diameter. All right. Go straight down, that's 10 feet to 15 feet deep. And today you have to put these systems that are obviously the footprint's much bigger, 20 by 30 feet. So obviously you encroach wells, more than the original, but they're up out of the groundwater. You know, my system's out of the groundwater by 3.5 feet or 2.5 feet compared to what's there now. And that's just the way they built them years ago. You know, all cesspools, you know, they're small but deep, you know?
Was there a particular reason why you couldn't, hit the 4 feet height
Well,
requirement?
if I did that, then I'd be going into a pump system and then you'd be making a big mound in the front yard. You know, so I trying to avoid a pump and to minimize the amount of fill. The system's already going to be raised a couple feet compared to what's out there now. And I put, you know, using a membrane to help contain the amount of fill and to keep it as low as possible, but another 1.5 feet starts to get obtrusive and you're not really going to gain all that much more. Now I'm using the Presby Advanced system, which gives you a little additional water treatment than the regular systems. According to Presby, as long as I have 2 feet of gravel below the bottom of that system, you end up having clean effluent. So it's definitely a big improvement over what is there.
Right,
Many
right.
of these systems going in today are big improvements over what's there
Oh,
existing.
yeah. Did we, no, I just can't, Bob would probably be, unfortunately, he would probably remember better than I can, but there was a variance, I think, last year on that same area where they were asking for too many things, or there was 2 things that they weren't able to do at the same time. Kristen, can you help with that? Was one of them, I swear, was a 4-foot height and another one was a distance thing, but I can't remember exactly, but would we be okay to grant all of those at one time?
I honestly don't remember, but I know Steve has looked at this.
Yeah, that's what, yes, and Bill too. Bob said
Yeah.
that he reviewed it with Bill and Steve.
Yeah, Steve, I mean, Steve approved it as long as, you know, it gets approved through here.
Okay. All right. Anybody have anything to add on the matter? Discuss, Mr. Evans, I see that you're here as a neighbor. Did you have anything that you wanted to add, or any board members?
No, I'm just kind of trying to feel out what's going on here.
Okay, fair. Dick, Amanda, any discussion?
No, I
No.
would say if they're not interfering on anyone else as well, then they should be able to upgrade it and get the variance if that's gonna approve and improve their current situation right now.
It seems like if anything, it'll improve the drainage and improve, any leaching that is currently
Right,
occurring through the cesspool.
yeah, and I know Wallen Lake Terrace, they, like she said, they are small properties, so.
Yeah, I mean, that too, it's only 2.5 feet less to the property line.
Yeah,
It's at 27 feet to one well, less 19th to the other. I mean, those aren't, I think we've granted variances. Yeah, I mean, I tend to fall back on Bill and Steve and the experts on these things. And
Right.
and Bob had a good conversation with them. I spoke to Bob. And they reviewed the plans and everybody seemed to be in agreement that this was certainly an improvement on the current situation at 9 Angel Road. So being as, as tight as it is down there, I think when you move down there, you sort of, you realize how tight it is. And you know that you have your own private septic, private well. And I mean, just by visibly looking around, you got to put that stuff somewhere. So I don't think there's many other options down there.
I've probably done about 6 of the septics in the Wallen Lake Terrace, and I've got another one coming in another week or two. And it's the same thing on every one. You know, years ago, these were meant for summer cottages, and now they're year-round residents. And back then, they were just 2-foot, 24-inch diameter cesspools that went straight down in the ground. And so now, one by one, as these all start to get upgraded, You just can't fit them on these lots to meet Title V without the waivers and the variances.
Right.
Right.
Repairs, you're afforded that.
Yep.
Right. It was, I guess, no foresight back then when they first started to develop that area.
Right.
But there's, very little we can do now. All right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I feel as though there's no, if there's no other discussion, there's no objections to anything. I mean, I think that's the best case scenario for the property, as Bob, Bill, and Steve all agreed. Dick and Amanda, if you're in agreement, I say we make a motion and move on.
Do we have one motion or two? One waiver or two?
Okay, I'm asking for a waiver to the property line, the Evans property line. Instead of 10 feet, I'm asking for 7.8 feet. And then I'm asking for waivers, local waivers to reduce the septic tank offset from the foundation from 10 feet to 7.7 feet. And then I'm also asking, and then under the variance, I'm asking for the groundwater offset in combination with the well offset. So there's several waivers that are to do with the property line and the foundation, and then the variance that has to do with the well / groundwater.
Cory, it sounds like we need to vote multiple times here.
Yeah, I think two, right? There's variances and there's waivers. So we need two separate motions, I would assume, one for the waivers, one for the variance.
Do we want to vote on each waiver separately or combine them?
I think you could combine the waivers. I mean, they're all distance, I think. So one's the foundation, one's the property line, and then the variances are to the wells, and I think the 4 foot to 2.5 foot rise reduction, right?
Correct.
It would seem to me if we want to get the waivers worded correctly, we would have Margaret give us each one and we vote on each one.
Okay, we can do it that way.
Okay, you want to start with one then? So we're requesting a waiver to reduce the property line offset from 10 feet to 7.8 feet on the southerly property line, the Evans property.
All right, all in agreement? Aye.
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 Okay, next one. Then
Yep.
Requesting a waiver to reduce the septic tank in the system offset from the foundation from 10 feet to 7.7 feet.
All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And then there's another one that we're going to need to reduce the system, the soil absorption system from the foundation from 20 feet and to 13.5 feet.
What was that again? I missed that.
It's the soil absorption system, the system itself from the foundation. Typically, they have to be 20 feet away from the foundation.
On his property?
So actually that there isn't a Ray, there isn't a basement underneath that house, correct?
There's a small one, but where the furnace room is, yes.
Oh, okay, so typically you need 20 feet from the system to the foundation. Obviously, there's no room in the front yard to meet that requirement, so we're asking for a waiver to 13.5 feet.
Oh,
Just a distance, okay?
All those in- What was that? Was there a discussion?
no, I got it. I get it.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of that waiver? Aye.
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 All right. Ayes have it.
Okay, and then we're asking for a variance to reduce the groundwater offset from 4 feet to 2.5 feet in combination of the reduction in 100-foot well offset. for the abutting wells.
All right, is everybody okay with that reduction from 4 feet to 2.5 feet?
I don't understand that. Could you explain that to me?
Sure, anytime, in a combination of reducing the height of the system above the groundwater, typically it has to be 4 feet. But that would create a big mound in the front of this, gentleman's house. So I asked for a waiver to reduce that offset from 4 feet to 2.5 feet. And then, and that in combination with the well offsets requires a variance.
So how, so I got a question. So that particular waiver from the 4 foot to the 2.5 foot, or what benefit would the additional 1.5 foot of material provide?
That avoids a pump system. If I had to put in, raise that system up another 1.5 feet, I'd have to put in a pump, and then I'd have to raise the system a good 1.5 feet above where it is right now. So currently, the system right now is gonna be at least 2.5 feet above the existing yard as it is right now. So if I added another 1.5 feet on top of that, so then you're talking to 4 feet higher. And then you get into, grading issues up against the house and the stairs and everything else. So by asking for that waiver, yeah, you're reducing that, you're eliminating a pump system. And so instead,
What,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'm just going back and forth. I mean, so that would, I mean, I see that we're saving the homeowner, some headaches, a retaining wall maybe, or some more material, a mound in his front yard. It's one of those things, 1.5 foot higher, and then no waiver, or I don't know. I mean, I whenever I'm in doubt, I fall back on Bill and Steve and those guys, I suppose. Dick, do you have any thoughts on this one, Amanda?
Seems reasonable, given the area.
I would agree.
Yeah, I would have to say the same. I mean, like you said about Bill and Steve also double checking it makes me more confident in that too as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have to regrade up to the house and the stairs, then if it possibly gets too high, now you're talking a retaining wall and you're adding a whole other things, which I don't mind.
Right.
Owner having to pay more. I don't really think that's going to be a benefit for the neighbors or for leaching, though. I don't think not allowing that waiver would benefit anybody. It would just make more difficulties on them.
Right.
I mean, I'm all right. Well, are we in agreement with that waiver? Ayes.
Aye.
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 Let's have it. Now the variances? Or
That was the combination well groundwater was a variance, and those two created the variance request.
Yeah.
Wells and groundwater.
Yeah, the well and the groundwater. All right, so do we need a Dick? Maybe can you say a motion on that one?
No.
It's for the 4 foot to 2.5 foot offset and the well reductions from 100 feet to 73, 100 feet to 81, and 100 to 97.
I thought we already did that.
All right, then ayes have it.
Margaret, are we all set?
I think so.
I think that one's good. Yeah, I think that hit everything. We got the variance for the offsets and the height, and we got all the waivers.
Hey, quick question. I know Steve Donatelli reviewed this. Who's Bill?
Down at the town hall. As
Oh,
Bob
Conda.
just mentioned.
Condit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bill-
okay. I was just
yeah.
curious.
Bob went over and asked him about it.
All right, very good. All right, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Margaret.
Thank you. All right. All right, well, that's one agenda item, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough down there. There's not a lot of space. I mean,
Yeah, it's very
was
small. all the properties are so small over there.
Well, they're packed, and I mean, unfortunately, it's so far away from town water or septic or anything. There's no chance. You know?
Yeah, and they're built so close to each other, the side setbacks,
Yeah, that was really. I mean, it was
they're
never
all
meant to be permanent.
variances,
Yeah, it was always meant to be summer cottages, never meant to be permanent residents. But
right?
you know, things change over time, I guess. But all right, so the next item on our agenda is the COVID-19 clinic and update.
So we're not having the health agent?
The health agent isn't here today.
Okay. Do we need a drum roll for COVID-19?
You want me to talk about it or you want to talk about it? Me?
I don't know anything about it.
You're on mute. Oh, there you go.
You can do it, Kristen. I can.
You can if you want.
No, you can
Oh.
start.
So I don't know what so we have been working with Uxbridge on doing a clinic. So it was 4 towns, Uxbridge, Mendon, Douglas and Northbridge. Hopedale just jumped aboard. We were gonna have it at the McCluskey School in Uxbridge. We set up, we have everything ready. You have to ask for vaccines every week. There's a big process for it. So Erin from Uxbridge has been on top of that. The first week they told us we could ask for 100. And we asked for 100. They said that's all we could ask for and we got nothing.
Is that per town or is that for our entire like
That was-
COVID?
That was for all of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we asked again, and you have to ask every week. So we asked again for vaccines and we didn't get any. They said we weren't getting any. And then today we got notification from the state, or everybody did from the state, pretty much saying that unless you can do 750 people a day, 5 days a week, you will not be getting vaccines.
Bummer. Yeah, I
So
heard
we're-
Massachusetts was not doing very good with their rollout.
The what was?
I heard that Massachusetts was sort of the bottom of the list with this whole vaccine rollout thing that,
I think they're just trying to get it out in mass quantities and just not have to ship a ton of little shipments. I don't know. So we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do at this point.
right, so funny how that works. Huh? So to try to get more out, it's taking longer, so less people are being vaccinated.
Very frustrating because we've had meetings and walkthroughs and setups, and we've had the fire chiefs involved. Because you have to think about, you need fire there for, an ambulance. It's a
Right.
lot of planning and it's very frustrating. So we're looking at different options, maybe asking if we could do, I don't know what they say, 500 a week possibly, but we may have to change where we're doing it because I don't know if we can even handle that many people at a time.
Why do they make it so difficult?
I don't know.
I mean, they want to get it out there, but then they tell you if you don't set it up a certain way, we're not going to give it to you. So I guess it just sits somewhere. That's
Right.
Yeah.
That's
No,
very-
they are not helping. They are not
They're very
helping and make it
counterproductive.
hard.
yeah, that's, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that. So because we can't, even with all these towns combined, we still can't hit the number they want us to hit. So instead of just shipping what we can do, they say it's all or none, huh?
Right.
Well, that seems
Mhm.
crazy.
So we're
Yeah,
just
and
trying to figure out if we can even handle that or how we would handle that. Because Jean from Northbridge figured it out. We need 10 nurses,
13,
75 people an
12 to
hour,
13, yeah.
75 people an hour for 10 hours straight, every day, 5 days a week. And you have to think about each person has to wait 15 to 20 minutes after their vaccination. So you need
Right.
room for all that.
Who's gonna email Baker, huh?
Yeah. So it's,
A question, Kristen, a question.
yeah,
Have the first responders had their shots yet? Police, fire,
Mhm.
ambulance?
yes. Yeah, everybody who wanted one had one, yeah.
Finally.
I don't know
Right.
when they're getting their second ones or if they've gotten their second ones, but
I can tell you my personal experience. I went on the state website and was told there was nothing available within a 50-mile radius of here, which pretty much excludes anything other than overnight trip.
yeah.
And then I went on the Channel 5, the young woman who said, I can do better.
Yeah.
And she set up a website and I went on there and there were many openings available at Foxborough, among other places, lots of places available.
Isn't that interesting?
So we went down there and it was exceptionally well organized. It was one of the better organized events that I have ever attended. From check-in to getting the shot, the roving computer, setting up the next thing, the whole thing, just well done.
Wow, great.
They do about 4,000 a day down there.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's Cecil B. DeMille, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Police, fire, just normal people. They are checking. You can't even get in the place unless you show that you have an appointment. And then it's just taken one step each time. Well, exceptionally well done.
Wow, that's good. So,
I
do
don't know what the answer is.
you have any more to add? I don't know. Can't think of anything else.
No, so they are checking. They are, trying to see what their requirements are. And it will even qualify before we put any extra additional work in planning that clinic, because we can plan everything and the state may say no again.
Right, that's not enough.
Yeah. So,
I can't believe that just
so
vaccinated.
hopefully they will help us, and we'll see. Like we said, if they will say okay and other towns are willing to do it, we'll join them. Like Douglas is interested in joining and being part of it.
Yeah, that's all we can do, right? Yeah, it seems like you can't do too much else. But I mean, if it's frustrating that you take all that time to create a plan and then they just say nope.
Because you have to have all this approved all along the way. It's not just like, so they got approved, it did everything properly, was all set to go, and then I guess there's a change,
The state says nope.
change in path.
So I wonder what their answer is. I mean, so if that's not good enough, I mean, we're such a small community. There's even us combining with other small communities wasn't enough people. I don't know what they want then.
They want us to open up. We were gonna do just our towns, but they want us to become like, for
Regional.
anybody. can-
Become a public clinic for anyone who wants to
Anyone in
come.
Massachusetts.
Like Foxborough, like Dick said, right? You
Yeah.
just call up and make an appointment. So they want us
Right.
to set it up where.
But you know what? Foxborough is a state-run clinic. This one is gonna be just us. State won't help
Yeah.
us with this one.
So that doesn't make sense. They want a state, a clinic for anybody in the state, but they want the towns to run it and put all their resources into it.
Yep. They don't make it easier. They
No,
make,
I don't know what the answer is. I guess the answer is go call your doctor and find a place where you
Yeah.
can get vaccinated.
And your doctor will tell you that they aren't doing it.
Right. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, they're not even doing it. So, boy, that's a rock and a hard place, huh?
Yeah, so that's where we're at.
Well, that seems pretty discouraging as far as local vaccinations go.
Yeah, it is.
and it's sad because over 3,000 people signed up for the clinic in Uxbridge, pre-registered. So yes, it's a significant number of people showed interest in that clinic, and we may have, there is a chance we will have to tell them that there is no clinic. They have to find other places to go.
Well,
I
they
think
really,
with
I
the-
mean, too bad
yeah,
they
I
can't
think-
prove your 500 number. That would be a lot easier of a attainable number,
I think the answer is there's just not enough vaccine to go in all the places, so they just said no.
But you know what? Some places get more than they are using, and they cannot use all. So it's problem with distribution.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. I don't think there's any answer either for us. I think that's all state. I mean, all you can do is apply, fill
Yeah.
out the stuff, and
And they know we were ready like 2 weeks ago. Every week they knew that like we are ready to go, like we have everything set and just waiting for the vaccine. And
and
no
even
help.
and Matt hasn't had any luck. I mean, being the town manager, he has no nothing he says can help out the situation, or?
I know that fire chiefs from the other towns, they were contacting some people, right, Kristen?
Yeah.
And they were like requesting some help and some assistance, and it looks like they didn't work.
Nothing can help with that or anything? None of our local representatives at the state level?
You know, the rules has changed today. You know, they changed the requirements, they changed everything. They don't want any smoke clinics. Like single town, there is no chance. Now we're thinking maybe 10 towns will get together and do it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say my input would be maybe try to get more towns. I mean, it stinks they won't do it with us and 2 other towns. I just don't know
Yeah.
how they expect people to get vaccinated and when
Kristen,
they're,
how many towns? We were 5 towns?
The 5 towns.
Yes, we were 5 of us. And now it looks like, you know, because we have not enough people to run,
right,
just 5
yes.
towns.
I mean, 5 towns, you're talking like a 20-minute drive to get all around that, half an hour drive, no matter where
Yep.
you go. So that's, I mean, how much further do they want people to go? I don't know.
Mhm.
Right,
And they wanted us to work together. They asked people to regionalize and work with towns around you, and
And then
Well,
you do that and they tell you no, huh?
then they say no.
add a couple more towns now is what they want to say.
So in other words, if you want a vaccine, go somewhere else, go to Foxborough? Is that the?
I would definitely recommend if you can get something somewhere, go.
Yeah, and Worcester, I think UMass opened also the state clinic today. So there's like a mass vaccination clinic in Worcester.
And I know last week they said CVS's were getting a lot of vaccines too.
As far as Milford doesn't have one going or something.
I think Milford Hospital has one, I'm pretty
Do
sure.
they?
I
They
think
did
so.
have one, yes.
Yeah.
They're pretty good too, I mean. Oh, boy. Well, I mean, I guess there's nothing we can do about it, huh?
No, just a little update.
It's
Hopefully we better
frustrating that
this
you
next
put in
time.
all that work. You know, it's frustrating that you spend all that time and energy trying to devise a plan for somebody to just say, no, they're not good enough.
Yeah, and all those people sign up and like she said, get their hopes up and
Right. And now they all think they're all set. And now somebody's gotta tell them that, like, sorry,
right.
you gotta go make your appointment somewhere else.
Mhm.
Bummer. I mean, I don't know. I don't know at what point you just wash your hands of it and you say, okay, I tried. But it seems to me like we're getting close to that.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this end of this week or next week we should know where
Yeah,
we are.
right. You should know a lot more, right? You see if any
Mhm.
more towns could try to jump in and see what the state says one more time or 2 more times or whatever. And I mean, we're more people are getting vaccinated now anyways. And they're, like Dick did, they're looking for places. Suppose you jump on Google and Dick had no problem finding a place. So
Yeah.
they're out there. All right. Any more discussion on COVID and the state? Lack of aid. All right. You want to move to tonnages then?
Yeah,
All right. Next on the agenda, tonnages. Thank you, Agnieszka and Kristen.
Yep.
Well, the tonnages look really good. That's a much
They
better
do.
month than we've
They
seen.
really do look good. Yeah, the guys are paying specific attention.
And it looks like both compactors are working pretty good. I mean, those are all good numbers. So
Yep, and they came in and fixed the gauge on the one that was reading incorrectly.
yeah, that was B, I think.
Yeah, they replaced the gauge.
Good. How are we looking? I know we've talked a lot about our proposals and how's all that stuff coming?
The proposal to add 2 compactors, to me, looks like we should go do it. But we need to have a detailed discussion. I sent out a spreadsheet showing a whole bunch of numbers, suggested it was great bedtime reading. So you'd be quick to go to sleep. But the payback is roughly 2 years. And
Oh, I'm sure.
in my former life, anything less than 3 was always a go. So 2, it really looks good. And
I
that's
mean,
what-
I would argue even 5 years as far as a payback would still
Yeah.
be worth discussing. I mean, 2 years is fantastic.
we need some front end money.
Well, don't ask the state.
I was trying to give you the number again. If you haven't seen the spreadsheet and you want it, let me know. I'll send it to you. But it
No,
looks like,
I-
looks like
Yeah, I
we're
think-
looking at about $32,000 for front end money.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And that's assuming that nothing out of the ordinary happens once we start digging, right?
Big assumption, yeah. Digging in that place will be an adventure.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you prepare for, you got to add something to that just in case. But I think if you're prepared for a little more, like 20% increase on that, then I think
Well,
you're.
What I said to each one of the people I went to, the electrician, the paving people, et cetera, I said, just make it on the high side. Worst case, and let's take a look at it. And the worst case came back, payback in 2 years.
Well, hey, I mean,
And after that, life is good.
yeah. So I think we need to really have a discussion about that and just make a
Yeah.
vote when Bob's here too. Maybe next meeting.
Yeah, and Dick and George sort of looked at a new layout and suggested that we could just rearrange it and try it before we went digging. Put in compactors, just have the recycling without the compactors on a trial basis.
Right. The
I
thing
thought
is,
that was a great idea.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Just set it up. I mean, you still have to put the extra one somewhere though, because without a compactor, those are going to fill up pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, just no faster than they do now, though.
Well, no, but right now we have how many cardboard containers and how many
3.
plastic containers? So there's a lot. Reducing that to 1.
Yeah.
At its location of where the compactor would take place. I mean, we still have a lot more of that stuff that you'd have to put somewhere else.
Yeah, there would be some pain in the trial basis, but I think it's doable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly in favor, but I think we should hold off on a big discussion and any voting until Bob's with us and Emily.
Agreed.
But yeah, I liked it, Dick. I mean, you got to spend the money somewhere, and why not? Like I said, I mean, it's better all around, right? So I think let's have a discussion, put that on top of the agenda for next meeting. So we can just get it going. I mean, I don't know. I hate just keep every month talking about stuff and not doing stuff. So let's put it
Right.
on so we can vote about it and get the thing in the works.
Yep.
All right. Any old new business? I guess that kind of was, but anything else out there?
Sooner or later, we got to have a solid waste contract.
Yeah,
We already extended 1 year
I know. And that 1 year is coming to a close, isn't it? Aren't we getting
quickly,
close?
yes.
What was that? Chris, when does that end?
June 30th.
June 30th. Yeah, end of the year, right? Yeah, fiscal year. Wow. So have we even have a proposal put together yet? Or did we sort of want to wait and talk and vote on that compactor thing before we did that?
George and I talked with both potential contractors, and both of them said that they would come give us some kind of proposal, which they haven't done yet.
All right. No, thanks, Dick. All right. Any other old and new business? Sounds like that, Dick, is just gonna have to wait until we. So I think the right thing to do would be to have another meeting with Bob, vote on getting the whole compactor thing moving, and then have those people come down and give proposals once we know we're doing that. Because would we use them for that as well? The compactors for the recycling?
Yeah, I think the 2 compactors are at least a year off.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna take some time.
Somebody has to come up with 32,000, and I don't have that spare cash. I assume you don't.
Oh, come on.
So sounds like the Board of Selectmen, which sounds like a ways off.
Yeah, do we have to appeal at town meeting for that? Or can that just be an agenda
I
item?
think so.
We have to go?
I think so.
There. Okay, that's not a big deal. But we'd have to get ourselves on the agenda for that. Do we have that in the enterprise fund?
Yeah.
So the money's there and they can't really spend it on anything else, right? So they just have to approve the spending?
Yep.
All right, so we just gotta pitch it to the Board of Selectmen during town meeting?
Yeah.
All right, when's town meeting? May, something?
Depends when you want to do this. Yeah, May. There's one in May, yeah.
All right, well, that's the soonest one, right? So, or
Yep.
we have to do it at town meeting, or can we do it at any Board of Select meeting?
No, it'd have to be, I think it'd have to be a town meeting.
I thought so too. All right.
Yeah,
All right, then I guess we have till May. I mean, that gives us a couple of months to talk about it, but we should really just hammer that out next meeting. So that way we have a plan.
Probably want to pass it by the town manager.
Yeah. Yeah, run it by Matt. I mean, I'm sure he won't mind. I mean, it's an upgrade, you know, like it's an upgrade on the facility, on the amount of gas and the time over the road. I mean, like you said, it's a 2-year payoff. Like it's crazy to not do something that in 2 years would pay for itself and then be benefiting. Any other old and new business? That's it.
We need a next meeting date.
All right, next meeting date then. We're there. March, you want to go the end of March, or in case anything pops up, or are we shooting back for the beginning? I mean, the beginning's only 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back to our, was it last Monday of the month?
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 weeks away.
If we do that, then we don't have the discussion about the contract, nor about the 2 compactors. It's getting out there a ways.
All right, I mean, town meeting will be in May, so that'll give us, we only have 2 more meetings until town meeting, so I guess if we hammer that out in the next meeting, then we can have the month of April to figure out our plan for town meeting, right? And May, actually, we'd have. I mean, I'm okay if you want to go 4 weeks then, March 22nd.
Works for me.
That's
Works
the
for me.
second to last Monday of the month, second to last Monday.
Okay.
All right, so 3/22 at 6 PM.
Want to do that? All right, let's try to schedule that one.
Okay,
Sounds like-
Perfect.
All right, can I end the meeting?
yeah,
All right. What do I say? I didn't get the script for the end of the meeting. All right, I end the meeting. I bring the, wait, do we have to make a motion to end the meeting?
I move
Yeah.
we close the meeting.
Aye.
Seconded. All right, motion has been made and seconded. Meeting's adjourned.